Today 15. Today I want to talk about an opinion article I saw in CNN about airlines that I actually agree with. So the title is Airlines Have Gotten Away with This Long Enough. It's by a lady, Jill Filipovic. Why are these names so hard to say? Filipovic. Yeah. She is a journalist based in New York and author of the book Okay Boomer, Let's Talk. In my line of work, and probably yours too, I cannot collect payment for a service, refuse to perform it, refuse to issue a refund, and expect to remain legally and reputationally in the clear. If I did that, and especially if I did it over and over again, I would expect to be sued, shunned, and eventually out of a job. Right? Oh my God. But not an airline. Oh no. No. This week, the Department of Transportation announced that 6 airlines have been forced to issue $600 million in refunds. The Department of Transportation is also fining the airlines $7.25 million for flights that were canceled during COVID and not refunded. These flights were canceled and not refunded. You believe that? That's insane to me. Those facing fines include Frontier, Air India, TAP Portugal, Aero Mexico, El Al Avancia. Oh, these names, I tell you. I tell you. It's about time that this industry saw some consequences. The airline industry posted record profits this past summer while also canceling and delaying a huge number of flights, while in an industry that is failing at doing its one job properly and yet is still making money hand over fist. Right? There's a big problem, and it's one being borne by its customers. Oh my God, I couldn't agree more. Right? I'm one of them. I was booked on a TAP Portugal flight to Lisbon in the spring of 2020. Oh, have you ever heard a more elitist sentence in your life? I have not. Sorry. Which obviously didn't happen because of COVID. Oh, yeah, I didn't go to Lisbon. Whatever. That's understandable. I didn't expect to board. That was mean. I didn't mean that. I'm sorry. I didn't expect to board a flight during a global pandemic, but given that the flight didn't fly, I did expect my money back. That's fair. I would too. For more than a year and a half, I didn't get it, despite messages and calls to both TAP and Expedia. Eventually, in December 2021, I received a partial refund, though still far below the full cost of a ticket. Actually, I have a similar story. I just bought a plane ticket the other week. I only got half a refund. I got a partial refund, right? Even though I canceled it within 48 hours. What kind of nonsense was that? That's a real story. Ugh. Yeah. Terrible. I don't remember which airline it was. Anyway, doesn't matter. A similar thing happened last Christmas. I flew to Kenya for the holidays. On a ticket booked with Chase credit card points, and on December 23rd, I received an email from that Emirates had canceled my return flights and had, as it turned out, also canceled all of its flight out of Nairobi, stranding my husband and me. Is it husband and me, or should it be like husband and I? Yeah, whatever. We took a last-minute one-way flight home on a different airline during one of the busiest travel periods of the year. Right, after weeks of back and forth with the Emirates and Chase, and in that particular purgatory one is thrust into when trying to recoup one's losses from 2 major companies, neither of which wants to take financial responsibility, we were never reimbursed by either. Although I do have an expired Emirates credit sitting in my Chase account, and now invalid offer to fly an airline I hope I never set foot on. Right? I agree, hey. Power to the people, right? I don't know if that's the right phrase. Whatever. Virtually no other industry is permitted to operate this way, and it is mind-boggling that airlines can sell you a ticket to get from point A to point B, not fly the plane from point A to point B, and then keep your money. Or issue you a credit that they know you were unlikely to use. so you can do the same thing over and over again. COVID has, of course, complicated things. Some cancellations are due to lack of staffing, but it's hard to feel sorry for an industry that accepted massive government bailouts, called its staff away, and then simply says it doesn't have the personnel to operate the flights. It's scheduled with full knowledge of its own limitations, especially when that industry has been charging more and raking in record revenue. According to Transportation Security Pete Buttigieg, the DOT will be ratcheting up the penalty aside until airlines change their behavior, whatever the hell that means. And this is frankly the least they can do. Over and over, airlines exploit the fact that their customer base is a captive one desperate to get where they are going and with little alternative. And so passengers muddle through all the kinds of insults and indignities, from major ones like cancellations to more mundane and minor offenses like seats far too small for the average human being and nickel and dimed for one expecting to carry a bag. Oh, preach, sister, I tell you. At the very least, if airlines do not provide the service they sold, flying an airplane on the day and time scheduled, they should pay up. With the delayed flights, significantly they should pay up, or provide passengers with a place to stay and something to eat without making them stand in hours-long lines to collect measly little vouchers. They should issue reimbursements automatically and swiftly without requiring passengers to spend hours hounding them for refunds. And if they don't, they should expect to see exactly what is happening now, thanks to Buttigieg and the Department of Transportation paying far more than if they had just done the right thing in the first place. Whew! Thank you. Thank you. Somebody had to say it, and I'm glad it was you, right? Thank you so much, Jill. All right. You are a light in an otherwise dark world. I was very glad to read your work. I will be following you on Twitter. Her Twitter, what was it? Jill Filipovic. Filipovic. It's probably Filipovic, to be honest with you. But yeah, I'm definitely going to be following her on Twitter. She did a great job. Thank you very much. All right.